If you got a dream, then you gotta chase it. No matter how hard the problems that you're facing. And you gotta surround yourself with the people that gon' lift you up. And leave behind the ones that bring you down. Cause when you win, there ain't nothing they can ask you for. Cause you gave them a chance. You told them you was gonna make it. So the promise you make to them, don't ever break it.
So just tell me your name.
YZMVP from Louisville, not Washington, Texas.
Tell me where you really from.
I was originally born in Africa, Ethiopia, city of Addis Ababa.
So how you get here?
I got adopted when I was 8, and my parents brought me to the States.
How old was you?
I was 8.
Do you feel like you're getting a better life now in the States versus what you would have been?
Absolutely. The broke people here is like one of the rich people there. So the life here is way better. And the rules here, even though it's a lot, it keeps you safe. Because there, they ain't none. You get killed. That was your luck.
So what's some things that you went through when you was in Africa?
For one, my father wasn't in my life at a young age, but both my parents were gone by the time I was 5. And I really didn't have no guidance, so I wanted to run around, do whatever I wanted to do. Got in trouble. Really didn't care because I didn't have the structure that I needed at that age, so I did what I wanted to do.
What type of things would you do?
I don't know. That, like, stealing. But my mama was working all the time. I barely even saw her. By the time she got home, I was already asleep. I was stealing, fighting.
What city are you from in Africa?
Addis Ababa.
So, how long you been in the United States?
It's ready to be 10 years or something.
So how'd you get into the rap game?
I mean, I always loved music. It was one thing that I could always just hearing other people's stories. It's like that I could relate to. Kind of made it easier. Like, oh, I'm not the only one that goes through this stuff. Oh, this person does this and this. So it's like that was my therapy. Cause my mom still to this day wants to give me the therapy. She tried 7 years of therapy. It didn't change nothing.
Right.
So it was always music that I could just go to and it just.
Right. It's like an outlet. It's like an outlet. Let you get it out. And that, it's your own therapy. You basically self-medicate yourself.
Right. But I didn't really get into rap until a year ago.
Yeah.
It was like somebody was like, I told them I could do whatever I wanted to do if I wanted to do it, and they were like, "But you can't rap." I was like, "Yes, I can. I could be the biggest artist coming up soon." And then they were like, "No, you can't." So I was. At first it was a joke. Then I really took it personally. I went and did it. It was like, oh. I could tell my story and somebody else could relate to it. So I started it and I just, the way it was like easy to do it. It was like, oh, I could really do this. So I started doing it and it's just, I make 5 songs in a week. I can make 2 to 3 a day. It's just.
So how many songs you think you recorded so far?
Over 300, but I lost about 200.
Yeah, I know the feeling. So, what would you say the first song you ever made compared to the last song you ever made? What do you think is the difference? Was it got better or it got worse? What?
It's way better. The first song I made, it had no flow, no rhythm. It wasn't like authentic. It wasn't real. It was just copying off the game. Like, this got a lot of views, so I'm gonna try this. Nah, it was bad. I was like, what was I even talking about?
Yeah.
But now it's like, now I got the hang of it. I got the flow. I got the stories in there, and I got what people like.
Right.
And it's me too. It's like what I want to be in the future, what I've been through, what's going on right now. It's just all put together.
Right. You're basically just telling your story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's easier to tell your story versus try to tell somebody else's.
Absolutely. And something, especially like songs that you have no business talking about when you don't know what it is or what somebody's been through if you don't been through
it yourself. Yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 18.
And when you get out of school?
2 years.
2 years? You be done?
I'm a junior right now, so I'll get out in 2 years.
So what you gonna do when you get out of school?
Keep going. Hopefully by next year I won't be in school. I mean, I'm still gonna finish my high school, get my diploma or whatever, even go to college if I can, but hopefully by then I already blew up.
Right now, so how many albums you got out on the internet right now?
I got 2 albums, 1 EP, and I think 3 singles.
So what's the names of them?
The recent album I dropped is Teenage Scars.
And what's that mean? What's that talking about?
It's just life I'm a teenager still, and it's just all the issues that I've been dealing with in my teenage years and all the good moments, bad moments, and even goes back before I was a teenager, the traumatizing stories and the pain, love stories, all of it.
Do you think you have been through more than an average teenager kid should have to go through?
Absolutely. Seen things that I shouldn't have seen. Yeah.
What's the difference between the African life and American life?
Death. It's treated differently. It's
Like what you mean?
like, it was my uncle's funeral. I was too young to understand. My mama told me this story. But at his funeral, there was, I think, 3 other people that died because they didn't like the fact he died, and somebody was there that they didn't know, maybe disrespecting him or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A funeral is there is not the same as here.
Yeah.
Here it's like all calm, everybody's just quiet. Nah, there it's crazy. Yelling, screaming,
And they
people
were
dying.
dancing and everything.
Right.
I seen some videos. So is that like when they have their bodies on the shoulders and stuff like that with the casket? So it's like it's a lot of emotion in a funeral over there versus here. Yeah, like violent emotion.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And to die there is normal. I mean, to die here is normal too, but it's just such a bigger deal at what age you die here. But there, death is there. I could have been dead several times. And now that I come here, I feel like right now I'm adjusted to the system here to where like I felt safer or whatever. They were in the day that they were in the second where I feel safe. Like every moment you gotta look out for your back.
So what you mean when you say death is death?
Like if I died at 17, it's not like, oh, he was only 17. It's just, oh, he's dead. Because there's no age limit there. You lucky if you get to live past 30.
Oh, yeah. That's so 30 years old. It's like you live when you're old. You want to make it that way. So how was it as far as like learning how to speak English and stuff like that?
Oof. I had no idea what anybody was saying. I had to like either draw a picture or they would have to look up a picture and like, do you want this? It was very difficult, and I had to learn through Rosetta Stone in school.
Yeah. What is Rosetta Stone?
It's like a program that like teaches you the English language compared to what you was learning.
Yeah. How long do you think it took you for you to really get it?
Speaking wise, it didn't take that long.
Yeah.
Understanding English to this day, I'm still trying to.
Yeah.
It's just a complicated.
Still certain words and stuff like that. Yeah, I can understand that. Especially you done came up for half your life
Right.
learning a different kind of language, and then coming in you got a whole nother language. I mean, people, everybody. Can you still speak African, or what do they call it? What do they call it?
Amharic. That was the language.
So you don't know no words. So
I know bad words.
You do? Like what?
And that's the better.
What's that?
Fuck.
What else you know?
Shamutan.
Yeah. So have you ever thought about if you ever want to go back and live in Africa, or just go back and visit, or what?
I've thought about visiting multiple times, but I feel like if I go there, some of the memories that I've tried to put aside for this many years would come back, and I don't know if it's a good.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to bring it. You won't get it started back over again, because you done came a long way. Yeah, I can dig it. So what's one of the favorite things you like about being in the United States?
Freedom and protection. I mean, it's not like every day I have to fight to. I mean, my parents did a great job of always putting clothes on me, feeding me, and even though I was a troublemaker when I was there, so it carried on to here. My first 3 years of school, I was in trouble, and it was just, now it's not like I have to fight for my life anymore. It's like I'm just living life and trying to have a better life, and I don't have to do the bad things I was doing when I was there. But it took a long time to get rid of those habits too.
Yeah. So I guess it feels pretty good to be able to, you can go out in the studio, you can record, you ain't looking over your back, you ain't worrying about getting something to eat tonight, you gonna get you something to eat, lay down, and be peaceful. Let the air conditioner blow in the house, and turn the heat on, whatever. So what's like, do you remember like some of the foods and stuff you used to eat when you was young?
Yes. It was this bread, but it was like real thin and soft, so you never used forks or nothing.
Yeah.
You use your hands. So you would break off, you would tear a little piece of that thin bread, and you would scoop off whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it would be, and they always had the hottest and spiciest foods.
Yeah. So like now, since you've been here, what's your favorite American food you like to eat?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I can eat that anytime.
Every day?
Every day. Texas Roadhouse.
What's the second thing you like?
I don't know. I would say a Big Mac from McDonald's, but I've had that too much recently.
Yeah. So what's the part the least American food that you don't like?
Fish.
Fish? I don't like fish.
I don't like fish. But I do like lobster and crab legs and shrimp. I love all that, but I don't like fish for some reason.
Yeah. So since now you're in the rap game, you know, you got a story to tell, and which I've heard a lot of, you still telling it now. So what would you say that you have to offer to the rap game?
A lot of just truth. And it might not be every single lyric and every single song that it is, but you're going to hear a lot of truth in most of my music, because that's who I am. And it's easier to make songs when you know what you're talking about, what you've been through. And when people can relate to it, it's just the best, because then that's when you get more audience, because it's like, oh, what he's talking about is real. I could relate to that in a certain way.
So right now, if you was to make you a 5-year plan, what would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years? In 2 years, finish with school. And then,
hopefully by then I'll be a millionaire. Help my mom out for all the times I gave her trouble. just keep doing what I'm doing, just keep doing at it, and never just let up on what I started, because it's easy to quit, but the hardest thing to do is to finish.
Right. But when it's something you believe in,
It's not a job.
yeah, it's easy.
Mm.
Easy to do. And based on what I've known about you, it seems like you got a good work ethic. Like you can get up and make. You say you can make a song a day.
I can make a song any day, and like today I made a song under an hour.
Yeah.
And it was just, and that's also mixing it too. So it's just making the music is easy, but getting it to big like platforms is what's the hard part. But we get into
So
it.
you do all the work for your music yourself?
Everything.
You do all the editing?
Mm-hmm. Editing, recording. I also got an app that distributes my music, but I also like distribute it on my social media accounts.
How did you learn how to do all this?
I had to figure it out on my own, or I would look up at YouTube like, how can I get my music out to big platforms like Spotify, and one of the apps that I found was United Masters, and that puts my music on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. And after that, I was like, all right then, if it could get on there, we can do it. And at first it was like, how can somebody get so many, like, millions of streams? And I had to realize, like, this isn't a snap. It's like a marathon. You have to keep going at it, keep doing it, and keep building the fans, because once you got one fan, it turns into two, and then two turns into four, and four, and keeps on getting bigger. So I'm just...
All right. So tell me some of the artists that you are influenced by. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
My favorite would probably be Lil Baby, because he just go hard. But my favorite like storytelling is probably like J. Cole. Like, he's a very good storyteller and uses wordplay a lot. But the one that uses like in music and the story and puts his story in his music is like Meek Mill. Because I've listened to a lot of his music, and it, like, every single one of them, it's like you look it up and it's what he's saying about him being locked up and stuff like that. So yeah, real one for sure.
So tell me some more things that you witnessed, you done been through.
Well, there was one, but I can never get out of my mind. It's me and my friends, we just running around having fun, and these people like went and murdered this person, and like they would cut their heart open, or they would cut their chest and take the heart out, and it was like a big group of people that like did that. And what they would do is they would sell the heart, they would like freeze it and sell the heart to like different countries, because it was worth a lot.
You seen that?
I was right there, and then they seen us like when we saw them, so they started coming after us. And this was like when I was 6, so we was running for our lives, and we knew we couldn't be faster than them. These are grown people.
Yeah.
So we just jumped in the river and basically drowned all the way to wherever we was at, and then
So it was like I was riding down the river.
yeah, like couldn't swim, nothing. I mean, I would go to the bottom, jump off, try to get more air, but it was...
Well, I got some African friends, and they told me about you gotta watch out for like the Zulu tribe or something. They said like they be raping women and doing all kinds of stuff. They hardcore gangsters.
Yeah, right there is... Yeah,
That's a
there's,
common
like I
thing.
said, there's
Yeah.
no rule, so...
Do what they want to do.
hmm
That's crazy.
But yeah, it's like I seen it happen. Like they cut him and took the heart out and put it in a bucket. And that has been like, you would walk around, and you know how like people here, they dig for fossils and they find, but there's just like heads like laying around and stuff like that.
Skeletons and stuff like that, yeah. I guess normal.
Yeah. So
That's
wild. Some of the stuff, yeah. And there's another one where it's the same situation, but just somebody just got killed, and they just left them there, just gutted, and it was just, you had to either get used to it. I mean, you can't do nothing else. There's no counseling. You can't have nobody to help you. Like, you are alone there. You got your friend, and you hope that they don't get killed or you don't get killed. But when it comes to it, you gotta watch out for yourself.
So how did it make you feel? Did it make you, when you seen stuff like it, was you scared? Or did
Absolutely.
So did you think about it a lot? Did it take you a while to get it off your mind, or what?
To this day, that's why my mom was so focused on counseling, thinking it's gonna help me. But in counseling, they force you to talk about it, and when you talk about it, it's back up and it's fresh on your mind again. So when you go home, it's the same. The demons just never go away.
So what do? You really try to not talk about it?
Music. The way I try to get it through is just through music. Let it out and just turn it into something positive instead of it being a negative.
Right. But you got an interesting story. You know what I'm saying? Just think you done went to then came all the way from Africa, been through what you've been through, you know, United States. You can go hop in your own car, go where you want to right now. You can let all the windows down, let the wind blow, let the music play. You can do what you want to do. Whole different world. And now you're on this thing of pursuing the music dream. You know, it's like a million people out here in the world trying to chase a dream. What's gonna separate you from the rest of them?
Because it's a dream. Like, I've felt a lot of negative energy from a lot of people, even my own family, and it doesn't affect me. All the things that I've been through, all the things that I have seen, now I then overcame those pains. And somebody telling me I can't do something, that's not gonna get to me, and that's not gonna hurt my feelings and try to make me stop. It's none of that. I got one focus. And whatever I want to do, I can go do it. And I feel like there's nothing that someone could say that could stop me from chasing what I want to chase or doing what I want to do.
Here in America, we got a thing that we say, you only gonna get out of something what you put in it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put everything, all my energy into it. There's gonna be sacrifices. There's gonna be times where, there's been many times where I was like, you know what, I ain't even want to do this. It's just time consuming, and it's like I had to sit down and just have a talk to myself. Like, you gotta look at the outcome, and do you want to work at a 9-to-5 job? Is that really what you want to do, or do you want to do something that you love and it's not even a job? Like, I do this every day, and it doesn't get boring. Like, I could do it all day, all night, and it won't get boring. But that's what I had to think of. Like, you either put everything you got in it, you don't joke around with it, or you just become like everybody else that wanted to be what they dreamt of. So it's a dream, and I'm gonna get it.
So tell everybody your name and where they can find your music. What's the name of the albums you dropped and whatever they can find it.
YZMVP. You can find it on anything. You just look up YZMVP. And Teenage Scar just dropped March, and it's going crazy. Streams are going crazy. Feeling a lot of love from a lot of people, and you know, with the love that comes the hate too. You gotta learn to balance it. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna be looking out for you. We're gonna see what happens.
Peace.
Cause they so tired of living broke. My nigga stuck in this system that wasn't by choice, that's just the way he had to grow. Now I'ma take a stand, I'ma write a plan so I can give my brother some hope. Yeah, I remember, how would I ever forget? I remember them cold December winters, we didn't have no heater, we had to stack up all the blankets together. I remember it was me and my brother and we had a game, put your fingers together. If they together, then you was a winner, cause everyone that could barely feel their finger. Oh, I remember, how could I ever forget?